Welcome to the AGORACOM.com CEO interviews, where we feature great undiscovered small cap companies to the small cap investment community.
Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Al O'Grady, and with us today is the President and Chief Geologist of Evolving Gold, Mr. Quinton Hennigh. Evolving Gold has a number of projects on the go with properties in Nevada, New Mexico, and Wyoming. Its key property is called Rattlesnake Hills, and it has a very interesting story, which we'll be talking about in just a moment. Evolving Gold trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol EVG, as in Edward Victor Gary, and also on the Frankfurt under the symbol EV7. Mr. Hennigh, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you very much, Al.
Okay. The date of today's recording, for the sake of our listeners, Friday, April 17th. Quinton, earlier this week, Tuesday the 14th, you had a press release that crossed the wires talking about a 10% increase in gold mineralization on the Rattlesnake Hills project. Quinton, tell us more about that.
Okay, very specifically, the increase in the grade that we see is through the metallic screen assays we conducted on very select intervals within the mineralized zone at Northstock. These intervals, we did the initial assays last winter and saw particulate gold. One of the problems with particulate gold in core is that it's very difficult to assess an accurate estimate of its true grade. Therefore, by conducting metallic screen assays, which take a larger sample and through processing account for that particulate gold, we see a significant increase, a 10% increase in the previously reported grades. Okay,
now were you surprised by that, or was it something that you pretty much expected all along?
Seeing the particulate gold, usually when you see that, it tells you that you are underestimating the grade with your standard fire assays. So in terms of a surprise, no, once we started seeing that, we knew right away we should do metallic screens, and the results have confirmed our suspicion. Okay,
let's talk more about the property in question. Give us an idea in terms of the size of the find, and particularly the Northstock target.
Okay, well, the volcanic field itself covers an area of about 100 square miles, but we're focused on a very restricted part of that right in the center of the volcanic field, which seems to have focused most of the action. It's the targets we refer to as Northstock, Antelope Basin, and Southstock cover an area about 1.8 kilometers north and south and about 1.2 kilometers east and west. At Northstock, where we drilled 13 holes, we've encountered a zone that appears to be at least 500 meters, say 450 to 500 meters long, 200 meters wide, and continues down to the deepest levels of the drilling, which is at about 550 meters depth. It is open in all directions, so we're quite encouraged by that. It's open at depth, too.
Okay.
To the south of Northstock, we have Antelope Basin, and it's 700 meters distance, but the one hole we drilled there also had some very encouraging results. So putting the two together, if we start to see stuff between, we should be able to improve the size of this thing tremendously.
Okay, now I understand you have a fairly extensive drill program on your agenda. What are your plans with that?
We're going to have 3 rigs this year, starting in May. The drilling we're going to do is going to be twofold. 2 of the drill rigs are going to be assigned to drill the area that we've encountered at Northstock. This will be in the hopes of, not in the hopes, but with the intention of developing a resource through drilling. So it's basically a drill out. And then the 3rd rig is going to be testing areas around the property within that box I described, the 1.8 by 1.2 square kilometer area, for more mineralization, particularly Antelope Basin and the area between Antelope Basin and Northstock. If that drilling starts to see more mineralization, which we feel very strongly is possible, we see good alteration and some good geochem at surface, then the size of this thing, like I said, could grow tremendously.
Is this an area play, or are you out there all by yourself, or do you have a company out there with you?
We are more or less out there by ourselves. I believe there are other groups staking in the region, but we have what we're very confident is the gut to the system.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your anticipated time horizon for a resource estimate?
We hope to be able to undertake an initial resource estimate by spring of next year after all the drilling is complete. We will conduct a scoping study in conjunction with that, start perhaps indicating what kind of a development scenario we might be looking at.
There's been some comparison with Rattlesnake Hills to other mines, for example, Cripple Creek, operated by Anglo Gold Ashanti. Can you comment on the geological similarities?
Yes, both Rattlesnake Hills and the Cripple Creek complex are alkaline diatreme systems. The grades of gold that we're seeing, the style of mineralization, are very, very similar. At Cripple Creek, they had both high-grade underground veins. Those were mined historically at about 0.45 ounce per ton. Today, Anglo mines the low grade between those at about 0.75 grams per ton. And we see both the high-grade and the low-grade intervening components at Rattlesnake. So the geology is very similar. It's also similar to the Golden Sunlight deposit in Montana, which is operated by Barrick, and also has some similarities to the Wharf deposit in South Dakota, which is operated by Goldcorp.
Do some crystal ball gazing for us, Quinton. What do you see happening in the next 12 months?
Well, I believe we're going to be able to accomplish quite a bit of drilling this year, first and foremost. Bare minimum 12,000 meters, perhaps significantly more than that, maybe 15 to 18,000 meters. With that drilling, I believe we will improve or increase the size of what we see at Northstock. Like I said, it's open in all directions, so we should be able to expand that. But the crystal ball part of this will be what happens between Antelope Basin and Northstock. If we start seeing mineralization in there, then we're going to be talking about a very, very big gold system.
Key question for a lot of investors, financing. How's your capitalization?
We have about $17 million in the bank right now. We are well financed to move Rattlesnake forward. All on our own. We're not looking for any assistance right now. The drill program this year will probably run in the order of $5 million. That will include assays and all the bells and whistles. Roughly 85% of our exploration budget is dedicated to Rattlesnake. That's the level of commitment we have towards the property. We have more than enough money to carry on drilling for the next 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Non-stop.
All right. Is gold your primary focus, or are you also looking at any gravy, so to speak, copper, nickel, things of that sort?
No, gold is our main focus. Some of what we're looking at does have other credits, but gold is our main focus.
Okay. A question I like to ask a lot of presidents and CEOs of junior exploration companies. Quinton, what really sets you guys apart from the guy down the street?
We're young, we're aggressive. The geologic team I have is one of the best in the North American continent, and we are fully committed to doing the work necessary to move Rattlesnake forward. I think a lot of companies you see out there are conserving their cash, very cautious, or else they don't have funds right now. We're not one of them.
Okay, fair enough. Quinton, that's it as far as the formal questions are concerned, but as always, I leave my guest with the last word. Do you have any final thoughts, anything that you'd like to add at this point?
Well, I guess what I would say is for our listeners to start looking for the stream of news that's going to be coming out of the property. If we start drilling in mid-May, we should start to see results in early July, and I believe we'll have a steady stream of news coming out over the next 8 to 10 months past that.
Okay, we'll certainly keep our eye out and be looking for those news stories as they appear. Quinton, I want to thank you very much for your time and sharing your thoughts with us about Evolving Gold.
Thank you.
Okay, and Evolving Gold trades on the Frankfurt Exchange under the symbol EV7 and on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol EVG, as in Edward Victor Gary. And you've been listening to Quinton Hennigh, President and Chief Geologist of Evolving Gold, on today's CEO interview program, produced by AGORACOM. I'm Al O'Grady. Thanks for joining us.